Enhance is here for you, no matter your needs. Hi, welcome to Enhance. Thanks so much for stopping in today. I'm sure my staff and I can accommodate your every need. If you're here to try something new or on a whim, or to replicate a look you've seen and loved elsewhere, or just want to love your reflection in the mirror a little bit more, we've got you covered. All our services and records are private and confidential, so no need to worry. Oh my God, you certainly put things bluntly, don't you? I did. No, I do. I take it all very seriously. Sorry, you just took me a little off guard. To tell you the truth, I made a bit of a slip-up. I may have lost a data slate containing the confidential information of numerous patients. Little things, you know, like payment, information, procedures done, age, birthdays, mailing addresses. Oh no, who am I kidding? This is so bad. If that information gets out, my business and reputation could be destroyed. No patient will trust me again. It's not. People's private information is at stake, ready to be taken by any bad actor that finds that damn slate. And worse, my reputation and business is on the line. Please, I'm begging you. You'll have to find that slate. Yes. Thank you. And let's see, I frequent the Terror Brew nearby, as well as Whetstone. I also stopped by the Valberg building recently. Thank you for doing this. You're a lifesaver. Please, come back as soon as you have the slate. Oh, and don't read anything on it. It's confidential stuff, remember? Well, I'm not at liberty to disclose any of our patients' personal motivations or services. You understand, of course. But, gosh, it could be anything, really. Something simple or a total reconstruction. Why you're here doesn't really matter to me. It's just important that you're satisfied when you leave. Oh, yes, of course, sure. Enhance's proprietary registered technology is absolutely the best in the settled systems. There is a reason we've been the #1 most trusted brand for reconstructive and plastic surgery for 2 decades running. Come back anytime.
Aren't you the one I saw running away from that room?
I'm a student of history.
News you can trust.
I have a feeling today's going to be a great day. Don't you agree?
on, fella. I missed it. How'd it go?
You look like someone who has many stories to tell.
Thanks for choosing Terror. Hello and welcome to Terror.
So much to see.
I watch
One day,
football too.
I'm gonna go to police and see Red Wild live.
You look familiar. Where do I know you from? Oh, yes. Lynn mentioned hiring some brand new miner before she left for that job. I must have seen your picture in the contractor database. I take it this means the job's done then. Good to know. So, what can I help you with? We just picked up several more contracts. Risky stuff, if I'm being truthful, but we position ourselves to take advantage of jobs like that. Think asteroid mining and other tough jobs. The next few years are going to be interesting for Argos. I book and process our jobs, manage the schedule on a broad scale, and interface with new clients. We're a small company, so a lot of us administrative types wear a lot of hats, as they say. As a former contractor, I'm surprised you don't know. We take on jobs that others won't, whether they're far away, extra tough, or just plain dangerous. And we always get the job done on schedule at a lower cost than our competitors. Well, after I book a job, Lynn meets with the clients to nail down the details. She negotiates the terms of the contract and even supervises some of our more important work sites. That woman never stops impressing me. I heard about that. I'm glad you're okay. I understand it could have been a lot worse if you weren't there. We appreciate it, but in the future, it's probably not wise to engage in conflict with the pirates. Just give them what they want, and insurance will take care of the rest. In light of that incident, we're actively looking at increasing our security budget. So regardless, thank you. Goodbye now.
Kind of. Argos is a great place to work. I'm not just saying that.
Not really sure I can help you with anything. I don't deal with clients.
Welcome to Whetstone. If you're looking for the best cut of meat in the settled systems, look no further. The general term? A sharpening stone, for knives. The kind of knives that cut the most delicious meat in the settled systems. This Whetstone, though, is the best restaurant you've ever eaten at. If you like a perfect steak, you're in the right place. You must be joking. I have an exclusive contract with the Trade Authority. It's all shipped in from off-world. And no, I'm not divulging the planet of origin. Why wouldn't you?
services are designed to minimize... You found it? Oh my God, thank you so much. I don't know what to say. You have helped a humble businessman. You saved me and my business. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much. Oh, I hope this hasn't tainted your perception of my wonderful facility. If you need any work done, I'll always be here. If you'd ever like to make a change, you're up to the task.
I'm sorry, I really can't afford to be distracted. I need to get to the bottom of this. Yes, concerned is an understatement. I work for the scientific division of MAST. I've been studying this tree for quite some time, and it appears to be exhibiting some worrying signs. Are you familiar with this particular specimen? Do you understand its importance?
It is a tree. They are quite prevalent in the city. This one is somehow different.
Yes, of course this one is different. It's only the most important tree in the city, perhaps even all of Jemison. Look, I have a lot of work to do here. If you're just going to gawk, I'd ask that you move on. If you can actually assist me, however, I would appreciate it. I don't normally solicit help from random passersby, but it seems an exception is necessary. Would you be willing to retrieve some additional data for me? Well, thank you. That's unexpected. There's a series of biosensors I've placed in various locations around New Atlantis, all calibrated to gather pertinent information. They've been running for long enough that I think it's time to collect and analyze their findings. If you would bring them to me, that would save time.
Can we speak for a
If
moment?
it isn't my favorite almost a lab assistant, what can I do for you? Recent scans of the tree have suggested that a significant portion of the interior is liquefied. Obviously, some small percentage of its internal workings is always liquid to allow for the transfer of nutrients and so forth, but this, well, I've never seen anything like it. If it continues to increase, I'm concerned the entire tree may collapse, and I'm also worried about other secondary effects. It's too soon to speculate. I'd very much like to see the additional data before I say more. If the time comes, I will certainly attempt to alert the appropriate people in MAST. If I have more data, though, my concerns might carry some more weight. Yes, well, it's a tree that just happens to exist in the center of the city in which I live, and these changes may have effects on, well, who knows what. Perhaps you could focus on collecting that data before we dismiss the situation entirely. They're broadly distributed across the city in order to cover as wide an area as possible. And if I'm being completely honest, my memory isn't quite what it used to be. I've been trying to get results for so long. Let's see if I can't remember. One of them should be over near that building Walter Stroud owns. You know, that explorers group, or whatever it is. There's a sensor located by the waterfall. I believe I properly compensated for the seismic disturbances caused by the waterfall. We'll see if it was enough. I did manage to strategically place a sensor in a tree near the, chunks over in the residential district. I presume it's still there. The last sensor is right next to the New Atlantis Corporate Park. There's a tree next to the pond, and you'll find the sensor there. I hope you'll have them all soon. I'm eager to see the data they've been collecting. Are you now? Because what I'm hearing is I don't have them, and that's not what I'd like to be hearing. Look, I don't want to alarm you or anyone else, but this is important. Time-sensitive, let's say. Maybe, possibly, a little bit critical.
I think perhaps your sense of priorities differs from everyone. If you have the time, I wish to speak to you. I have been thinking about us. as a couple? I am not sure of the terminology. Our relationship, let us say. It is, and I am thankful for you every day. You and I, we come from such different backgrounds. I cannot really know all that you have been through, and you are not House Varun. I am not suggesting otherwise. This does not work if I am not honest, if I will not speak plainly what is on my mind. As much as I love you, and I do, I cannot help but wonder what the future holds for us, given all that I know to be true. No, that is not my concern. I trust that you will stay with me. When the Great Serpent returns, I know I will be by his side as one of the promised. But you are not like me. You are not House Varun. Your fate, as much as it pains me, is sealed. I have tried to not worry myself over it, but I cannot stop thinking about it. What future can we have if that is the inevitable end? You understand, this is different. It is not what might happen, but what will happen. I have never expected you to share my beliefs. You cannot possibly. And I will not fault you for that. I do want to be with you, but there are moments I find myself grieving for you already, knowing that you will be lost. How can I possibly move past this? I love that you are thinking of me, not of yourself. I just hate to think of anything coming between us, whether now or in the future. But you are right. I need to focus on what is in front of me now, not something I have no control over. Thank you for talking me through this. It only serves to remind me how much you mean to me. Deeply I care about you. Really? You continue to surprise and amaze me. I am at a loss for words. Of course, yes. Yes, I want that too. My culture deals with this so differently than I have seen in the rest of the settled systems. I need some time to consider what would be an appropriate, equivalent gesture. But do not mistake that for hesitation. You are the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I will not let you go for a moment. It is pleasing to speak with you. May the serpent guard you.
There were no survivors.
It's just the usual ways.
Hey, are you looking for eggs too? I've only found one so far, but I want to find more before anyone else does. So if you see some, can you tell me? Yeah, it was. Weird, right? Miss Seng over at UC Distribution bought the one I found, and she said she might buy more if I can find them. I could really use the credits. I wish I lived on a spaceship.
I'm pleased to report that our stocks are currently being maintained at 90% or higher. I'm sure we have anything you might need. Welcome to UC Distribution. Something I can do for you? Who, Jordan? That kid's in here every other day with some random thing he found. Trying to get credits. Yeah, I took pity on him. Why, what is it? Oh, really? Well, you can have it back for what I paid for it, plus a little extra. Let's call it a convenience fee, shall we? Pleasure doing business with you. Right. Come back if you need something else.
The conversation and...
Let me take a look at your file.
I appreciate your assistance, but I still need all of those sensors.
So you do.
Wonderful. I'll just take these, and we'll see what they have to tell us. All right, we'll just upload the data. Give it a moment. And just another moment. It is working, isn't it? Ah, there it is. What a relief. Now, let's see. This is... well, it's... oh my. Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that my suspicions were correct. There is something wrong with the tree. I will report my findings to MAST immediately with no small amount of satisfaction. The phrase, "I told you so," may even be uttered more than once.
Yes, I must admit it feels good to be vindicated. People can be so stubborn when it comes to plant life. It takes a botanist to truly understand that the well-being of plants is directly tied to the well-being of humans. But I digress. Let's get back on track.
The bad news, as it were, is that the internal composition of the tree is changing. In this particular case, the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. They're nearly imperceptible now, but they're growing in strength. This is something we've never observed before. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. I must consult with my colleagues in MAST at once. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
Let's hope that MAST takes these findings seriously.
Thank you for your help retrieving the biosensors.
We just got word of a disturbance over by the Nut in the Embassy District. A vandal, it seems. I've already dispatched an officer to the site, but they probably could use some support. Talk to the officer, get an update, and interview any witnesses involved. Thank you. Normally I wouldn't waste your time with this, Captain, but a functionary over at MAS reported the crime. He'll be thrilled to know that a captain of the Vanguard is on the case. Functionary Gershon. Nice guy. Very polite, as diplomats tend to be. But lately, he's also taken an interest in reporting petty crime, which means I get a call every time someone puts the wrong trash in the recycle bin. Still, his diligence comes in handy at times like this. He practically called in the crime before it even happened. That would be Officer Noita Markkinen. She's one of the recruits that joined up shortly after you started. A lot of newer officers look up to you. I bet she'll get a kick out of working this case with you. Niva, this isn't Neon. I'm sure the graffiti there is part of the normal decor. But when something like that happens here, it tends to stick out. See you later, Captain.
You're certain
for
that's
this?
what you saw?
Everything good?
Oh, yeah.
We're here to help.
Flannel shirt underneath his record jacket.
Pardon?
That doesn't match the description from the functionary. You said he was running away from the tram?
That's right. Oh, and he was carrying a book, A Tale of Two Cities.
Okay, just hold that thought one moment, sir. I need to speak with the captain.
Sure. There's a reward for this, right? Information leading to the capture?
Sir, just give me a moment with the captain, please. Thanks for taking this case, Captain. I realize your time is limited. Thanks, Captain. To be honest, I'm a little starstruck. I'll do my best to keep things professional. This was supposed to be a simple case. Got an attempted vandalism, a knocked-over bin, and a witness who called in to ID the suspect. We were about to head down to the well to apprehend the guy when this new witness comes forward with additional info. Just one problem. His story conflicts with the functionaries. Yes, sir. I was the one who took the call and reported it to Sergeant Yumi. Normally, we don't give this much weight to tipsters, but when it's a masked official, we tend to take them at their word. He said it was some kid from the well. According to him, the vandal ran to the tram, knocked over the bin, and took the net to the spaceport. He also said he recognized the kid's face. ID'd him from security records and everything. Kid's name was, Tahir something. Sorry, Captain, I'm still new to this. I have it written down somewhere. Yeah, and then apparently ran off and knocked over a recycling bin. The perp made a bigger mess running away than he did with the spray paint. Well, we got two witnesses with conflicting stories, so I'd like to go interview Functionary Gershon in person. Their office is at MAST, in the Interstellar Affairs Department. Affirmative. And as the higher-ranking officer, I'll let you take the lead, Captain.
I watch a lot of true crime movies. I can be a big help. I hate to break it to you, but some of us have jobs we need to go to. Besides, there were at least like 10 other people that saw him, so sue me for being a little late with my civic duty. Yeah, not every day you see one of those, so I got curious and took a peek. It was A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. My guess, he was using it as some sort of cover. Like, he gets you thinking he's some kind of brainiac, and UC security turns their heads. Then out of nowhere, bam! Crime time. I've watched a ton of detective serials, so I know what I'm talking about. Oh, sure. Yeah. So I'm riding the tram to Mast, and there was this working class guy sitting next to me. Trucker jacket, flannel shirt, the works. Now, you'd think if you're about to commit a crime, you'd be a little less conspicuous, right? Try to, I don't know, blend in? Whatever. Anyway, I figure he's going to the spaceport to haul cargo or something. But instead, he gets off at the same stop. Now I'm really curious, but before I can ask him where he's going, he pulls out a can of spray paint and starts tagging away. So I yelled at him to stop, and that's when he bolted. Time to get back to it.
Seems like the Crimson Fleet is everywhere these days, spreading like a virus through the cells.
He said what? That's gonna set back negotiations.
Good luck on your endeavors, Captain.
Ah, Captain. Can I just say, it's a pleasure to meet the hero who stopped the Terramorph invasion. And Officer Markkanen, was it? I see you're here as well. Is there something the matter?
We just need to go over your testimony again.
I apologize, but I can't right now. I have an important meeting I need to attend. But I'd be happy to stop by UC Security later and speak with your sergeant. Captain, I would be happy to do so later, but now is a bad time. So unless you're arresting me, I must decline. Besides, I'm not the most eloquent of functionaries. I prefer the written word, which you're more than welcome to read. I encourage the both of you to check the information on my personal computer. I have written a detailed description of the vandal, one Tahir Vala, a known criminal who resides in the well. It should have everything you need to apprehend the thief. Now, if you'll excuse me, you'll find everything you need to arrest Mr. Vala on my computer.
Well, Captain, what do you think? Is what the functionary said true? Is this kid from the well our vandal? You sure, Captain? I get we got conflicting testimonies, but the witness at the tram wasn't exactly reliable. If not the kid, then who? What? Really? Do you have proof? Okay, Captain. I trust your instincts above all. And if the functionary's the perp, That means he not only committed the crime, but tried to frame the kid. If I can speak frankly, Captain, that really pisses me off. The functionary said he was going to chat with Sergeant Yumi, right? Let's head back to UC Security and see if we can't give him what he deserves. It's an honor to work with you, Captain. We got our suspect. Let's go put him away. Yes, sir. I joined after your heroics on the spaceport. If you don't mind me saying so, you're kind of my inspiration. Appreciate it, Captain. I'll try my best not to make it weird.
Am I gonna be on SSNN? Right, back to it.
What is it, Captain?
Ah, Captain. Functionary Gershon was just giving me his full statement. Hold on. First off, these are very serious accusations, Captain. Are you sure you want to go down this road? More importantly, do you have any proof? Now, that is pretty damning. Old Earth books are very hard to come by. The odds of this witness naming that exact book and the functionary owning said book, that's a long shot. Unless, of course, he's the perp. You do have a point there. I've gotten that sense myself at times. Most of his reports are complaints about that sector. Well, I've heard all I needed to hear. Functionary, do you have anything to say for yourself? That's enough. Officer Markkinen, please escort the functionary to the holding area. Don't worry, functionary. We're not putting you in jail quite yet. Unlike some people, respect the rule of law. Well, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Well, that was a shock. Next time, give me some warning before telling me my star witness is the one who committed the crime. Yeah, I know. I was just giving you a hard time. Your timing was actually perfect. Saved me a trip to Mast. Anyway, good work on this case. Functionary Gershon may talk tough, but I know his type. It won't take long for him to crack. And hopefully, that means the end of his obsession with the well. And, speaking of endings, I was going to mention this earlier, but I didn't want things to turn all sentimental in the middle of your investigation. With all the new recruits as of late, our staffing problems are no longer an issue. Which means we've exhausted our need for a part-time security officer. Likewise, Captain. We have your position filled, but not your shoes. On behalf of the entire UC Security Department, I wish you the best of luck with the Vanguard and your future missions. And if you ever need to talk or Reminisce about the beat. I'll be here. I'm gonna miss having you. Take care.
Hey, loitering.
Ah, well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? I hadn't expected to run into you again. Indeed I am. The success of my previous venture, with which you so kindly assisted, has been brought to the attention of MAST. There is growing concern. Oh my. A bit of an unintentional pun, isn't that? Well, concern that things are going to get worse. The data we gathered points to a definitive trend. The vibrations coming from this tree are increasing in strength and frequency. Because we've never seen this before, not on this scale, we have absolutely no idea what the upper limit is. We don't know when or even if this will stop. It's imperceptible by normal human standards now, but given time. While I hesitate to speculate on the possibilities, well, none of them are good. Yes, and not just humans. All organic life will be affected. Low-frequency vibrations are not uncommon in this species. The vibrations help disperse nutrients throughout the tree. However, normally the vibrations are imperceptible. If the vibrations continue to increase in frequency and strength, prolonged exposure could lead to harmful and potentially deadly side effects. It's imperative we find a way to correct this. There is data regarding other, younger members of the species. Unfortunately, there are some, shall we say, personal issues with acquiring it. Personnel issues, if you understand me. What? No, that is ridiculous. I am a professional. One of the other researchers in MAST, Emilio Hadek, has research I believe could be vital to my work here. He and I don't see eye to eye, and so far he's refused to turn it over to me. I'm hoping that if someone else were to ask, he might be more inclined to relinquish it. What do you say? He's held a grudge against me for years. It's petty, really. I'm sure he thinks that doing this now will hold back my career. He wouldn't listen when I tried to explain this isn't about me. There are bigger concerns. That would be a miracle. Emilio may work for MAST, but he's not much of a scientist. I dare say you're 10 times the scientist he's ever been. In any case, whether you open his eyes or not, I need that data. The last I saw of Emilio, he was collecting samples in the field. He shouldn't be hard to find. Good luck, friend. That data is vitally important, and I'm confident that you'll be able to retrieve it. I hope we're not too late to avoid a disaster. Huh. That man is a disgrace to his profession. His theories are drivel, his methods are sloppy, and his conclusions are, at best, highly questionable. He is a very poor scientist. I saw fit to point this out when approached for his most recent personnel evaluation. He somehow got wind of it and has taken it very badly. My feelings precisely. The work and the results should be more important than our egos. If only we all felt that way. Well, I'm afraid that's hard to say. Ultra-low frequency waves are a rare phenomenon. If they continue to increase, they might cause disturbances in the equilibrium of the city's residents. Headaches, nausea, that sort of thing. Eventually, the resulting vibrations could have effects not dissimilar to seismic activity. Nearby structures might be at risk. I really do hope we can find a solution soon. I hope this isn't asking too much of you.
Of all the assignments they could have given me. Could you stand a little to the left? I think you're blocking my readings. Oh, it's important research. I won't bore you with the technical details, but it's critical that I get this done. What? You've got to be kidding me. Is he seriously that desperate? No. No way. Kelton is actively ruining my career. There's no chance that I'm helping him with anything. Whatever this thing is he's on about, he's just doing it to make himself look good with the higher-ups. I'm not helping him with that. Kelton screwed me over good. Probably ruined my chances for advancing in Mast. I'm not going to forgive that, ever. Right. Of course, we're all in danger. Trees are involved, after all. He really won't let this go, will he? Maybe I can make this work in my favor. Okay, you know what? I'll hand over the data. But I'm only going to do so after you've helped me secure a better position in Mast. Oh, don't worry. You're just going to erase some files for me. Make sure I look good next time promotions get passed around. Wait, really? Wow. Okay. Okay.
I share the surprise. You are willing to entertain this?
I've gotten a few bad performance evaluations in the last couple of years. Totally unjustified, incredibly unfair. I found a backdoor into the Mast network so I could make some changes to my personnel file. But it turns out the chief engineer knows what she's doing. The only way to get access is from the terminal in her apartment, which is kind of locked. Okay, let's not get too excited. It should be really simple. Just get in, access her terminal, delete the files, and get out. Really simple. Between you and me, as little as possible. I'm just kidding, of course. I work really, really hard at my job. Studied in computational bioscience, did some time in agrogenetics. These days, I just help out wherever I can. Waiting for a good opportunity, maybe an opening in administration. You know how it goes. Need something? Oh, that's right. Best of luck out there.
Hello, excellent to see you. A shame that there is not... more to discuss. I'm here for you. It is always a pleasure. Sure. Ah, a face...
You will be lost without me, but as you wish.
if it isn't Kelton's little errand runner. You have some good news for me? They sure are. I took a peek on the network, saw that things have updated. Great job. You came through for me, so now I'll do the same for you. This slate has all the data Kelton needs. Hand it over to him, stuff it down his throat. It's all the same to me. Thanks again for helping me clean up that little issue. And once I get a fancy corner office in Mast, you should come over and we'll have drinks.
If we keep running into each other like this, you might as well be put on the Mast payroll. I hope you have the data. It's really quite crucial. If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to go on not knowing. I'm sorry if this was complicated. I'd prefer to remain unaware of the details in the event that it comes up later, particularly in a legal setting. And I suppose I'd better verify the data to make sure Emilio didn't double-cross me. But you have once again come through for me. I'm truly hoping that this is the last piece I need to figure out what we can do. And I appreciate it. Thank you for your assistance. Thank you again for getting the data from Emilio. It can be a pain.
Gorgeous weather today.
Oh, I was hoping we might run into one another again. Your timing is most fortuitous. I'm on the verge of something, but I don't quite have all the information I need. You have no idea how much I appreciate that, truly. Of course, now that I understand more about what's going on, it seems plain as day, and yet I never would have imagined it before. The tertiary trunks have also liquefied their interiors, but they're not vibrating. I thought perhaps it was some sort of defect, but it's much simpler. They're listening. I don't. Not for sure. It's all a theory, certainly, but it is completely supported by the data and observation, like all good science. It's the best we have to go on right now. That's a very reductive and borderline insulting way of looking at things. I believe this tree is sending vibrations out over massive distances and expecting to detect sympathetic vibrations in return. As of yet, there's been no response. I suspect that will not change, that a response is impossible, and that's very, very bad news. We're continuing to see an increase in the strength and frequency of the vibrations. I don't know how much more significant it'll become. If there's no response, the tree may vibrate itself, and some nearby portion of the city, to destruction. Now, as of yet, there has been no response, and clearly none of the nearby individuals are a correct match. While it can't be ruled out that the intended recipient of these messages was cut down during the city's expansion, there is one other possibility. Over 100 years ago, the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective emerged from the Narian War. As a gesture of peace and goodwill, a near-literal olive branch, one of the trees from New Atlantis, was offered to the leaders of Aquila City. Nice. Short-sighted and ill-advised, in my opinion. Of course, you can't just uproot a native species and plunk it down on some other planet in a totally different environment and expect it to grow. Clearly, no exobotanists were consulted ahead of time. The end result was wholly predictable. The tree died within a few short years. Clever, but no, not necessarily. The tree died, yes, but branches were kept. At least one still exists in the museum there in the city. If I had that branch, I could get DNA samples, and then using various data I've gathered, I could attempt to simulate a response. We could then broadcast that response and hopefully calm down our friend here. But, as I say, I need that branch. I'm afraid I can't be two places at once, and I have too much going on here. The museum in Aquila City is under the supervision of one Miss Kassler, I'm told. I don't know anything about her, but hopefully she'll be willing to listen to reason and assist our cause. All right, off you go. We don't have any time to waste. I hope Aquila City has what we need. Had I not explained that? Perhaps I wasn't clear. I have been rather agitated lately. Thanks to the large sample size of the data from my colleague, I can use a generative algorithm keyed to the unique DNA and structure of an individual specimen. I can run simulations to attempt to replicate the physical characteristics of this other tree, and from that, derive an approximated audio profile of the tree's vibrations. Hopefully, our friend here will sense those vibrations, assume there is a suitable mate out there, and, well, calm down, I suppose. I have a very high degree of confidence in my methods. I have also, regrettably, run out of other options.
Feel free. Welcome to the Co-Heritage Museum. I offer a brief tour, and I'm happy to discuss the city's history as well. That is not something I expected to hear today. I assume you're somehow associated with the United Colonies? I've received some odd messages of late. A tree is upset? You scientists are something else. Regardless, I can't just hand over museum property, and I must admit I'm not especially inclined to help the UC, or New Atlantis for that matter. Well, I'm afraid you've wasted your time because I'm not authorized, nor particularly inclined, to release any of our pieces. That includes 100-year-old tree branches. Sorry, but it's staying in storage. Everything you see here is a piece of Aquila City's history. If you ever want to learn more history, if you find any more of the... I hear what you're saying, but I'm afraid it's out of the question. Bending over that branch is starting to look pretty good. I'm not an unreasonable person, you know. I can't believe I'm doing this. Please return it in one piece. You better not be hustling. The museum is always open to you.
Like the idea of relying on the Freestar Collective, but here we are. Have you paid a visit to Miss Castler in Aquila City? Yes, of course. I'll see that it is returned to her in one piece. Well, perhaps minus a few shavings. Now, I just need a moment to analyze this and synthesize an audio response to our friend here. Right. So we'll feed in a sample. Now the program will incorporate the genetic and chemical makeup of the sample, extrapolating the size and structure of the original tree. This was put together rather hastily, so complete accuracy is impossible. But I'm hoping it's enough. And there it is. Our best hope for a positive solution to this mess. So, we now have a simulated response to our tree. All that's left is to play it. An excellent question. I have been wondering myself. I've been forced to listen to this SSNN kiosk chatter incessantly this entire time. I think it could be put to better use. We don't have time to go through the proper channels, but if you can find a terminal and get this uploaded into their system, it might do the trick. You're right. There's a chance that there could be some minor adverse side effects, but none would be life-threatening. We won't play the broadcast loud or long enough to cause any major or permanent damage to humans or other organic life. And aside from that, if we don't calm this tree down soon, well, I fear that the vibrations it's emitting will eventually reach such strength, it could severely damage our internal organs. I have no doubt that you will.
If I move back to Neon, I'd miss you Atlantis.
We've done it! I'm already seeing reductions in the strength of the vibrations. The tree is calming down. I can hardly believe that worked. I don't know. We've been in uncharted territory this whole time. That doesn't stop now. With the immediate crisis hopefully over, I can slow down and review everything we've learned. And certainly, I'll be keeping a much closer eye on our friend going forward. And you have saved this tree and advanced our scientific knowledge of our environment. Noble work across the board. You have my gratitude and that of every citizen in New Atlantis, though they don't know it. Thank you for everything you've done for me and for the